there we go. All right, so I'm just going to do a brief introduction. So, okay, for the viewers, obviously. So this is Cynthia Gomez. She's one of my clients. I call her my rock star client. So I'm just going to ask her a few questions, and obviously you guys also get to know her. So the first one is, what made you decide to finally commit to your fitness goals? Like, I know you were active, like you did
It's
say
very
this.
simple. My pants were not closing. My clothes was not fitting me, and I separated. So I was like, okay, my son is relying on me, and then I'm always leaving my health for last. So it's like, okay, yeah, I need to provide for my son, but I also need to be healthy. And then I started realizing he wanted to play soccer, and I couldn't keep up because I was always sitting in the computer like a robot. And basically those two things, like I didn't want to go and buy new clothes, and but I had to at some point. And my son, basically.
All right. So I just have the questions here because I know I'm going to go off track. So I'm just reading off here. So what is your experience so far in your fitness journey? And, what was your struggles you were facing ever since, well, let's say from when we started training together, right? So let's rather just start, because I think we've been training for about 2 years, if I'm correct, about
Yeah.
2-ish years.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, what I know, when we started, it wasn't always easy because of the job and everything. So yeah, kind of just explain from there, what was the struggles, how's your experience, etc.
Okay, yeah. Well, the experience since I started with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
How was the experience
So
with the training, and when you started seeing your transformations, when you started losing weight, like
yeah.
how was the whole experience?
Well, you know how they talk about energies align. I at that the point when you reach out to me, um, I was thinking, my God, I need to do something. I need to do something. But I was thinking every day. And then one day you reach out to me and you're like, oh, you want a free training session? And I was like, yes, please. And I was like, this is what I need. And since we started, I liked the part that you were guiding me. I had a gym in my condo that I never used because I don't know how to use, weights or anything. And so it was good to have your guidance, but at the beginning it was very challenging because I didn't have the time. Well, that's what we say, that we don't have the time. We just don't set priorities the
Yeah.
way we should. I wasn't setting this as a priority. So the biggest challenge for me was that I was seeing my workouts as an extra task. He said, oh, and I also have to do this. And even when we started, yeah, it was awesome to have you following up, but I had 24 hours in a day, and I was also building a business after work, taking care of my son, and I was like, I cannot do this. Most of the days, time was my biggest struggle. It was bad. It was really bad. But I'm also very, like, my personality is that if I commit with somebody, I'm very responsible, and I try to be that. I've gotten to know now at my 37 years old. And if I commit to you with something, I'm gonna try to do my best. And then one day, I realized, I'm not committing to her. I'm not committing to myself. I'm committing to my health. Like, this is for me. This is not for anybody else. And I just, you know what the challenge was for me? I was also thinking that, um, that it's when you start working out after a long time of not working out, you hit a wall. You start working out and then everything starts hurting and you're like, no, I cannot do this. And then, us women, we get that time of the month, and then you start getting cravings. And then it's just like the day after you started working out, and then you build yourself in your mind that no, I'll start next month. No, I'll start next Monday. That is BS. You're never gonna start. You have to start on a Thursday. Sorry, is that I'm charging my phone, so it's not staying. And so when I got myself, I allowed myself to get into a habit, then I started feeling like, okay, this is part of my life. This is not an extra, this is not an hour that I have to train with Leanne, and no, this has to be a part of my life. But it took me a long time. It took me a long time. I'm not gonna say it took me 30 days. It didn't, because I interrupted it. I would be lying, but you know, I got myself there, and then
Yeah, so this, I know I made quite a few posts about you, like bragging and that. So I just kind of want to elaborate a bit, because I know a lot of people, like obviously we send messages out, trying to get clients, and as always, I'm too busy with work, I don't have time. And it always makes me think of when we first started, right? Like your job was hectic, like you said, you were building a business, you had a kid, you were a single mom, and it was obviously, I cannot imagine myself in that position because I'm not a mother and all that. So it must have been tough, but you still made time, right? Like I always say, even if you can get a 20-minute workout in, that's better than doing nothing, right? And now, after the few months, now you're walking the dog, you're bike riding, you're trying. I even like I try to let her. Well, she is doing cardio now, but before she did, like I was like, while you're on a meeting or something, get a stepper, do cardio, do something. Okay, Cynthia got the stepper. She listened to me. She did it. She sent me the videos or the photos. So
I was desperate.
it's how you prioritize your time with your workers. You can do meetings. You can do whatever work you have to do if you like have a sedentary lifestyle, and just work your workouts in, right? Everyone has the same 24 hours a day. It's just how you prioritize those 24 hours of your day. So yeah. And then as well, what is difficult as well is I don't train her one-on-one. She is on an app called Trainerize, so she's completely on her own, right? I just message her so she can
I
be
wouldn't.
I did the workout, kind of, I would say like lie or whatever, but she does it. She, like, her mindset is freaking 100%. She's super dedicated. She's super disciplined. There's not a lot of people that you get that really stick to their goals and their health and their fitness. So yeah, like I said before, she's a rock star of a client. I'm so super proud of her. I don't even, there's no words to explain how proud I am of this lady. But all right, let's get to the next one. So obviously, since we've started really incorporating the cardio and being more active, etc., how does it feel now that you're getting closer to your goals? Obviously, we're not by our goal right now, but obviously we are getting closer. So how does it make you feel? Like, how does it feel that I'm getting closer and closer to those goals? The body is transforming. Yeah,
it feels awesome to start wearing clothes that I haven't worn for 2 years. We've been working together. Yeah, before that, I kept some items that I liked, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's how you told me this morning, on your voice note, that you don't notice the change. You don't notice because you see yourself, and I don't see my body every day. But I got a full mirror, like a full body mirror. So now I get the chance, sorry, to see myself. But I still don't. But when I tried on the dress, I was like, no way, no way. And I thought it was impossible. I thought it was impossible to fit on that dress again. And I don't know how it happened. I don't know how it happened. It just, well, by moving more, just moving more. It's just, sorry, guys, I'm gonna get deep here. But this society just makes us be so sedentary. It's so bad. Even I'm fighting with my son because he doesn't want to bike to the school because every parent drives for 2 minutes to school and he doesn't see any other kid going in their bike. So he's like, Mom, but the other kids are not biking and I don't care about the other kids. I can bike. He's like, no, tomorrow. It's a culture.
that phone just does not want to stay still. But yeah, like I always tell clients, don't jump on the scale, right? Like it's going to be a roller coaster, up and down. The weight's going to be up and down, especially when you get closer to your goal. Your weight is going to fluctuate a bit scale wise. That's why I always say, like, rather take photos, or obviously you will feel the difference in your clothes as well. And then, like I said earlier today, we should maybe take some videos, like take videos in the gym, just to kind of
Yeah.
see the muscles, the definition that, and then obviously you'll see month after month how you are transforming. But we are taking photos. Well, Cynthia is taking photos almost every day at the gym now.
I
And
started
looking
now.
freaking amazing. So we're getting closer and closer to those goals. But all right.
But you know, Leanne, if I can say something else, it really feels good, but mostly I feel you know, this is the thing that I tell my friends, because I have some friends that are seeing results, no? And then they're like, Cynthia, but how do you do it? And then I'm like, you know, they have more kids than me, and a husband that doesn't do anything around the house. And they're like, I cannot tell them what, because it has to be an internal switch that you make the decision, right? It has to come from you. But the thing that people don't tell, like I didn't know, is that you start working out, and at the beginning you think you're gonna be more tired. You're like, no, I'm already tired from work. I have made dinner. I cleaned the house. I'm gonna be more tired. No, you're gonna gain more energy, and I gain so much energy that now I can do all these things, and that is by having getting in the habit of working out. But we think the opposite, like from ignorance. We think, oh no, I don't have the energy for it, and you're actually going to a gym or working out at home, and you're getting more energy. So
Yeah.
that's something that I tell my friends, and I don't know if they really listen or understand, but it's a source of good energy. Also, it changes your mood. You don't know how many people I see in this gym, and they go to the manager, the trainer, and they get in the gym in such bad mood, so moody, and treating him badly. And as soon as they start working out, it starts changing.
Yeah.
It really improves your life
Yeah.
overall.
I like to say as well, working out is sometimes a form of therapy, right? Like if you're not feeling the best, like it's your, like, it's like a me time, right? It's time for you and your mind just to be on your own. If you have music, or if you like listening to podcasts, or people like listening to different things, like it's just a form of therapy as well. But yeah, it's just,
Definitely. And moms need it. Moms need not to be a mom, at least for an hour, 20 minutes,
yeah,
you know?
you don't need to be in a gym for an hour, 2 hours, 45 minutes max is that's all you need. And then if you can, go walk your dog, or just be in the sun, get the vitamin D. That's also good for you. But yeah, it's just a form of mindset. Everyone's like, oh, I don't have motivation. Like, you're not always going to
It's
be
hard.
motivated. Me as a trainer,
Yeah.
I'm not always motivated. It's about being disciplined and showing up even on the worst days. A bad workout is better than no workout.
That is true, but you're right. Some days I really don't want to go, and then I'm like, okay. And then I'm just praying that there's somebody else at the gym that, you feel, you get the vibe that, okay, they're working out, I'm gonna work out. And then as soon as you start, you just have to cross the bridge. But it is hard sometimes.
Yeah, and I always used to love the thing that you always said, oh, I'm dragging myself to the gym, or I'm bribing my son to go to the gym.
I did a lot of bribing. So many Pokemon cards were offered for those workouts. And it's such a good example. Like, at least he's seeing his mom is not all about a slave, working. And then, there's some days my son would tell me, I don't want to grow up, mom. I don't want to grow up. I don't want to have to work, and I don't want to have kids. And that also started getting me like, okay, my son is not seeing me enjoying life at all. Always working and this and there in the business and this and that. And
Yeah, so
like,
you're
okay.
technically being a good example for him as well, showing him that there is much more to it than just working and, being a slave, if I can put it that way. there's more to it and you're enjoying life a bit more. So yeah, that's you're being a good example for your son.
Yeah.
And then habits regarding to your workouts, your diet, like your routine. And obviously now you have more of I don't know if you have more of a fixed routine, but obviously you have more of a habit of doing something daily, like whether it's bike riding or walking or the gym. So I kind of just want to ask, like, how easy is it now that you have like a routine? Like, I would say like a fixed routine, but like I said, you either bike ride or gym, cardio, whatever it is.
You mean how easy it is to get myself to do it every day?
Yeah, so for example, like when you were working there, it was obviously a bit more difficult for you to really get a routine of, okay, I'm gonna go to the gym today. I know sometimes you tried to go at lunch and things didn't work out. So now I'm assuming you have a better, like an easier routine now because you have more free time. So I just wonder, how is it like, I don't know how to put the question really. Hopefully you can understand, but just, is it easier for you now, like, to actually have a routine in that way? Obviously it is, but like, how's it affecting you positively in that way of the routine, having an easier routine?
Thinking back to when I was working, right now, if I didn't want to work out, it would be easier to not work out because there's so many things to do. Like I just moved to a house. Yeah, I don't know if I mentioned it clearly. I quit my job. So of course I have more time. It doesn't mean that I'm not doing anything. And what I face right now is the guilt. It's like, okay, there's so much to do. My partner's working and I'm gonna take an hour to go to the gym. But I think, okay, Cynthia, if you were doing it before with a job, after where you were trying to build a business with the son on your own for 2 years, you're not gonna do it now that you have time. So I think it's easy now that I created the habit because I did it when I thought it was impossible. When many people would say, like, how do you do it? Like, why? And yeah, it is easy because of course my biggest challenge was time, but I'm telling you, like there's some days that if I didn't got the habit before when it was hard, I would not be going to the gym right now because there's a lot to I just leave it. I'm just prioritizing myself. This is my time, okay?
Yeah. So like I said, when you build a routine, like when you wake up, you're like, okay, I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna use the example, like, okay, I'm gonna go to the gym 8 a.m. I'm gonna do cardio 5 p.m. whatever. It is easy if you get a routine and you try and stick to that routine every day instead of like falling around, like, oh, this is when I'm going to the gym, and then the other day I'm gonna go to the gym this time, and then I skip my cardio, I skip this, like falling all over the place.
And regarding diet, what I did to make it easier, because of course you have to sometimes put some thought of it. You cannot. Okay, so before I was eating 3 times a day. That takes time from you. It takes energy because you're digesting all the time. So I started getting in the habit after I quit my job to not have breakfast, to only eat after I go to the gym. After, as a reward. And that made it easier for me because it's saving me time. And it's making me feel better, so it's working for me. Of course it's not going to be the same for everybody, but yeah, there's ways to make this easier. There's ways for women, for example. I have oily hair. It's such a silly thing, but when I wash my hair, it takes me time. And I don't want to go and sweat the next morning. So even those things you have to try to make a routine, like, okay, no, you know what, I'm gonna stretch my hair 2 days because I want to go to the gym, because I know if I wash it, I'm not gonna go in the morning just because I don't want to ruin the whatever. I know it's not for everybody, but believe me, if you have oily hair, it's such a pain because you're always looking like you're dirty and you're not.
Yeah, I understand what you say. I also have that kind of hair, like you wash it and then the day after it's like it's just a mess. But I work out every day, so I don't even. That's why I always just have a bun up. Like it's the easiest.
But this is your job. Like I had to go to an office. I couldn't go. I couldn't go looking like a mess.
All right. The next question is, what do you think women struggle with when it comes to reaching their fitness goals?
Women?
Yeah, women. Like, what do you think is their? You can name the most struggle, or you can name like two if you have. Like, what do you think women struggle with the most when it comes to reaching their goals? You can
I think
relate it to like women that have children and then women that don't have. If you maybe
I
find it a
think
bit easier.
in my case, I have hypothyroidism, so my weight has always fluctuated. I've never had a stable weight. I think this training is helping me because it's helping me keep somehow stable. But the biggest challenge, it's guilt. Because you know those times where I would tell you, oh, I bribed my son to go to the gym and he would sit there outside so I could see him. It wasn't easy because you know, I started thinking like, oh, I don't care what people think, I don't care. But it's the way brought up. It's just like, okay, a mom should not be in the gym at the time where his son should be having dinner. And it's just like guilt everywhere. Guilt if I leave right now and I leave my father-in-law and my partner is in a walking clinic to go to the gym because I know if I don't go now, I won't go.
Mm.
Is always guilt. I think that's a big one. My friends that are married, when I was single mom, and they would tell me, no, it's just that I have to make dinner and you know, and this and that. Also, it's like, okay, but can you have an hour for yourself? No, because you know, after the kids go to bed, then I spend time with my husband or this. It's just, but then men don't have that. I know men don't have that. Men don't struggle with the guilt. With the guilt.
Yeah. So me and the boyfriend actually did kind of do, I don't want to say like an experiment, but obviously I train most of the women and he's more prone to train the men. He will always train women as well, but I just prefer to mostly train women. If I get a man, that's fine. But we have noticed that men are more likely to stay than women. I just feel like not obviously not everybody, right? So the people shouldn't now get me wrong. But most of the time we are more emotional, we more glued to excuses like, oh, I need to cook, I need to clean, I need to do laundry, I need to do this, I need to do that. Like it doesn't okay, obviously as a mother it's probably gonna be a bit different because obviously you have kids in that, so I cannot speak in that kind of sense. But for me, obviously I cook, I clean, I do the laundry, I do obviously what every woman will probably do. And then the boyfriend, he just, works and he does what he needs to do. But I mean, it doesn't take up your whole day, right? I mean, if you're working and I don't know, some people I guess clean almost every day or they do laundry twice a week, I don't know. But it doesn't take up most of your time, right? So I just feel like women are more in this comfortable state of just finding excuses, they're emotional, um, they don't want to commit. I don't know, they find it harder to commit to fitness and their health. Then obviously men, I mean, you're more prone to see men in the gym, men getting their fitness goals, men, looking good and that, and then women are kind of, not all of them, obviously. I don't want people to get me wrong.
But it's true. Like I do carry the guilt, even if I don't tell anybody. Oh, I'm going, but I'm feeling guilty that I didn't let the dinner ready. You know, I'm not saying that, but I am feeling it, and not everybody has an understanding partner that says, no, you know, I'll cook something for myself or no. And some people have 3 kids saying, I'm hungry, what are we gonna eat? I understand, but I think it's women is the way we are raised to serve, at least in my background. to serve. We are here to serve others. Even I had a conversation with my partner the other day. He's like, you don't need to be at service all the time. And I'm like, but that's how my mom was. Like my mom would never take an hour for herself. So if I grow up seeing that, it's like, where is that gonna, like I have to make a big jump
Yeah.
to break that, you know? It's hard, it's harder for women. We're meant to, we're thinking always, okay, no, but what does my husband need? What, oh no, my friend wants to see me. No, I'm not gonna work out today because my friend needs me. Or my son needs me. My son is sick. It's a lot.
Yeah,
So I do understand that men, it's easier for men.
yeah, so for example, like yesterday, I cleaned the house, I did laundry, then I didn't work out. I mean, I'm guilty of it as well. I used to be up and down with training and that. I always like to say, even me as a trainer and my boyfriend as well, we're not perfect. We don't always train every day. Sometimes we take off. It's not always sunshine and roses. But yeah, it's just the sense of trying to put effort in and not always trying to look for an excuse to try and make yourself feel better as to why you cannot work out, because there isn't really a valid excuse at all to why you cannot work out unless obviously you have a physical disability or something like that, or some kind of health condition that you really, like an injury or something that you really cannot. But yeah, that's just kind of my opinion. Like there isn't really a valid excuse.
It is priority because
Yeah.
why do I want the all my full, you know, organizing colors and folded and the food ready if I'm getting sick? If I cannot find a way to release stress, it's not worth it. So it's priorities, but we don't see it because we're still young, and then we're like, no, you know, that's not going to happen to me. But when you're working, stressed, and then you're serving your kids, your husband, your friends, your family, and you don't put time for yourself, it's gonna something, your body is gonna send you the bill eventually.
Yeah.
I say it from experience, and I've seen it in my family. And then it has had to happen like biggest drastic changes. Like my dad had to sell the business and stop working because all of a sudden, you know, you get sick and you have to not stress. And how do you not stress with business? You cannot. But if you prevent it, you know, putting 20 minutes every day or every, you know, every other day, then you're doing something. You're avoiding the doctor. I always tell my son, like, how many times do I go to the doctor in a year? Can you remember the last time? It's because I'm working out now. So please let me finish. Let me finish. And then I'll have energy to play with you and I'll be in a better mood.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, but promise me you're going to play with me. I'm like, okay, I have to.
Yeah, I like that quote where they say you either make time for your health or you're gonna make time for your illness. So it's your choice, obviously, what you want to do. So I kind of got into this already, but this is basically how we started our relationship. I kind of did explain it in the beginning of the video. So I'll just recap with that. So obviously I reached out to Cynthia because we train people online. We're completely virtual. So we reach out to people. We don't always get the best responses. Oops. Okay, yeah. So we don't always get the best responses, but yeah, so we've been working together for like 2 years. And then as we explained, her schedule was, I would just say it was the worst at the beginning with the work and everything. But yeah, now that obviously she is looking for something else to do right now, but at the moment her schedule is way more free. So she's really been committed to her health. She never really came up with excuses that I can think of. If she has, it's been probably once or twice of these 2 years. Like she didn't really. And if she does skip her sessions, say like, because we train now Monday to Friday, so if she skips a session during the week, she will always make up for it on the weekend. And even if she skips the gym that day, she will make sure she does the stepper or she walks. or like she says, the bike ride with her son. So yeah, she is one of the clients that I will always brag about. I even brag about it to my partner, because you don't get a lot of clients that are that serious, right? I do have some amazing clients, so does my boyfriend. But throughout the years that we've been training people, obviously he's been training people for about 10 years, altogether. I think 10 or 9 years, and I've been doing this for about 3, almost 4 years. And you come across a lot of people, right? They start training, and then just as they get results, they fall out, or we go on a call and it's like, okay, this is my goals. I want to lose this much weight, or I want to, whatever the goals may be, right? And then once it comes to training, it's a no-show. They ignore you. It's like, I don't know. I just say most people have a lazy mindset. It's not difficult to just stand up in the morning or in the afternoon or evening, whenever you can train, just to do 20 minutes, right? It's just going to benefit you at the end of the day. But unfortunately, a lot of people act as if training is a disease. It is how it is. And in today's society, the body positivity and all that with obesity, and that is just tremendously sad to see. But yeah, we live in a very difficult generation where people
The
don't.
addiction to the screen, it doesn't help.
Yeah, it doesn't
My
help
gym, my gym has a Netflix always there, and it says, "What's your favorite show while you walk on the treadmill?" Because that's what people do.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No. Even when I do cardio, I watch videos or something. It's just kind of because I hate cardio. I hate doing it. It's not my favorite, so I kind of do something to distract myself. But yeah, like I said, today's generation is very difficult to promote healthiness because it's people that are obese, that's body positivity, promoting unhealthy lifestyles. So yeah, it's just difficult in that sense as well.
Yeah.
And then another question for you: what keeps you motivated besides obviously me keeping you accountable, etc.? What else motivates you to keep going with the working out, keeping healthy?
Okay, I was gonna say something very personal.
No, you don't need to be personal, right? But I mean, if there's anything else, I want to.
Well, you know what? I mean, having my dad with cancer for many, many years now, that really hit me, and I was still very young, and for me, priority is like being healthy. I don't want to be a slave of a medicine or anything. So if I feel okay, I just want to feel okay, because I have many ideas of things I want to do, and I want to be healthy to do them. Like, I have many ideas for projects, for businesses, and I just want to be my best. And I also want to be healthy if I want to grow my family in the future, and for my son. And I do have to say something. It's not that I like God gave me discipline out of nowhere at this adult age. No, it's not like that. I do. It for you must be for any trainer must be very challenging to train an adult that never exercised as a kid. But since I'm 4, my parents sent me to ballet classes. Every day I had to go. So in my system already, I know that if I commit to something, I have to go, because in ballet, it's very strict, very strict. You have to go, and you have to do it perfect.
Aren't they like super disciplined, like strict, like you said, strict? Yeah.
Very strict, and the diet is very strict. So I got away from it. I gained weight and everything, but I do rescue the things that I learned, which is perseverance and consistency. And then training in the gym is the same. If you lose a week or even a day in ballet, then your body, because ballet is opposite to the natural posture of the human body, you have to be every day stretching it, you know, out, your feet and your legs. And when you're gone, then you're at a disadvantage. So you don't get good positions in place and this, and it's very demanding. So that helps me. I know that helps me. But some people, like if they've never had a routine, like it's really hard. Is the way you approach it, I don't know how you approach an adult that wants to lose weight and has never had a routine before.
Yeah,
It is very creative.
difficult. It is difficult, but I mean, we try. We've tried everything. Like, we go out of our way, and sometimes we've noticed that if you push too much to keep the client accountable, they just anyways fall out. So yeah, if you're gonna train, you're gonna train. If you're not, you're not. At the end of the day, you're gonna pay the price for it, whether you like it or not. But yeah, it is difficult. And then I just kind of want to get through it because we have like 3 minutes left because I don't have the upgrade of Zoom. So, do you have any celebrity that you look up to, like body-wise, obviously, that motivates you? If you can think of the top of the head, or anybody that, I don't know.
I used to like the type of body of, I don't know if you know Jessica Alba in her earlier years. Well, she still looks the same because she's very lean, but then she still has some curves. But when you ask me this, I just think of when I decided to start working again on my body, I just look for a picture of myself and I put it in the fridge.
Oh.
And then I have one here. Because I'm never gonna get to this again. I was there. But I was here, I was okay. So I'm like, okay, this is somewhere here, right? Somewhere hidden here. So I don't really know. I think men are more like that. Like my partner always tells me, I don't know, the guy from, they look up to guys type of bodies. I'm not too much like that. Jessica Alba, like if I had that body, then I would not complain. But
yeah, all right. So then the last thing is, what is your vision? Like, what else do you want to achieve through your fitness goals? I mean, I know you've told me like what your goals are, but is there anything else specific? Like, I know you want to lose weight, you want to grow the booty a bit.
just to make it a habit, just to never see it. I do have a friend that her lifestyle is being active. I want that. If she's sad, she works out. If she's happy, she works out. No, if I'm sad, I eat. So I'm trying to reverse that. If I'm happy, I also eat. So that's what that's my vision, to have a very healthy and active lifestyle. So to get me away from those bad eating habits that I do have, of course.